good for the Mariners in the wild card race. 6-0 the score there. The Astros, unfortunately, sweep the Phillies. Thanks for nothing, Philadelphia. 2-1 the final there. And the Rays take out the Royals 4-0.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Welcome, everybody. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. Supposed to be Mariner baseball happening, or actually it's supposed to be wrapping up by now. It'd probably be in the post-game show by now.
I don't know, Bob. I can't hear you.
A golden moment before the show started. Lefko was trying to talk to Matt, and Matt just shut him down. I can't hear you. I don't know.
Lefko was trying to talk to Matt when Matt was at his most busy, trying to update people. Today's been a nightmare.
I loved it. It was delightful.
I encourage people to text in to Matt. What time's the game going to start, Matt?
Love that you think I'm reading the text line.
So good.
Yeah, only when you text in for mean texts. That's the only time you're on the text line.
You guys are free to text. We're going to take you to 2:30, and then we'll turn you over to Mariner baseball. So a very short show today. But the Mariners can still win the series. They dropped the game last night, which was a huge bummer. Obviously, you never want to lose. But first of all, the Astros just keep winning, and that gap is getting bigger. But it was just, when you get a performance like you did last night out of Kirby, where he was great. It was a very nice performance out of Kirby. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, 90 pitches. And, Thornton comes in for an inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. I mean, it was your starter gives up 1 run. Ultimately, the team as a whole gives up 2. You like to think you've got a good shot of winning that game. And the Mariners offense just got put to sleep. 3 hits last night. That was the bad. The good. George Kirby, again, good to see him. It wasn't 14 strikeouts, but 6 innings, 1 run. I will take that every single time. And he talked about what he liked about his outing.
Yeah, I felt great. We had 4-seam up top was working really well, and I used my slider and curveball really effectively tonight. And kind of kept them all balanced. Didn't get a lot of strikeouts, but kind of made some good pitches, get them to roll over, some pop-ups. So thought I was super efficient in that sense.
Yeah, it's funny. This one wasn't nearly as frustrating just because the Mariner offense has been putting up such ridiculous numbers on this road trip. So, but I mean, it's typical of what we've seen in the past from the Mariners that, a lot of times I always go back to that a couple of years ago, Robbie Ray. We lose a 1-0 game. He throws a gem. So, but yeah, I didn't really have that same level of frustration. I was just more like just looking at Kirby and just appreciating like how ferocious he is, man. You saw him when he got that walk. I mean, he was just beating himself up. I mean, he was just so pissed at himself, and that's who he is. And we talked about Brian Wu becoming kind of that guy, and of course Logan Gilbert has always been that kind of guy that just totally different on the mound. And I love that version of Kirby when he gets pissed for 1 walk. But I mean, at one point he retired like 9 in a row, I think. He was just on fire. But I mean, the fact that they couldn't do anything offensively. I don't know, the frustration for me anyway, typically that would be like, oh, here we go again. You got a great, gem of an outing from a guy like George Kirby, and then, you couldn't, 3 hits? So, yeah, I didn't have that same level based on, what they've been doing this road trip is pretty special. Scoring 9 runs, 7 runs, 14, 11, 6. I mean, it's been good offensively.
It has. Excuse me. I was frustrated.
Yeah.
3 hits.
Did you have that same old, from, like I said, a few years ago when you have, you know, you have guys like Robbie Ray who go out with just this unbelievable outing and offense not able to come through. And it just seemed like that was so much more common. And you had, you know, kind of frustration, I guess, in the Boston series. But just, you know, like I said, I mean, what was it, 47 runs in 5 games? I mean, that was, I don't know, I'm still kind of riding on that wave right there. So, yeah, I mean, and it just also kind of reminds you that, you know, when these guys all get back and healthy and, you know, especially Bryce Miller, probably the biggest long shot, but as far as furthest away. But, yeah, I mean, it's just been really cool to watch. And then, like you said, Trent Thornton, we talked about him yesterday and how intense he is. And he comes out and he was great last night. So
he's got that element you love. He's a little off.
Yeah. Well, and it's just like, you know, it's kind of the personality of our entire pitching staff. You know, they're just they're a bunch of guys that were competitors, man. They want to win. So, yeah, it was cool to see Thornton back. Last time we saw him, I think he was like rubber-legged out on the mound.
He was being
in
helped
Chicago.
off the field.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely good to see that. It was just, for me, it's frustrating when they face a pitcher who, and Joe Ryan's been good. He's had some good outings this year. You look at his starts this month, though, and he's not been great. So it's just when a pitcher finds their stride or finds their greatness against the Mariners, that makes me nuts.
Yeah.
So,
So, I mean, it was just one of those games. I am not reading too much into it, but yeah, the 3 hits, 1 walk. You know, the other thing too, I think when the strikeouts start to creep back up there again, you kind of worry about that. But yeah, I mean, 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position, left 5 on base. So, yeah, and then you saw
not a ton of opportunity, but when they did have it, they didn't capitalize.
Yeah,
and then so 3 hits, one of them another infield hit for Julio.
I thought of you when he
That's
pounded that one
Ichiro.
in
Somebody
there.
got mad, and they didn't get mad. They're like, Bob, he's not Ichiro, right? I'm like, right now, he is.
Yeah.
A lot of infield hits, and good. He's getting on base. He's hustling. That's good. But yeah, you want to see more when opportunity presents itself. And look, give Ryan credit. He is a good pitcher. He just hadn't been that good lately.
Yeah.
So he found it in this game. You take 3 or 4. I mean, that's success. I wasn't expecting a 4-game sweep. That would have been really cool. But if you get the game today, you walk away happy. You walk away happy. And I don't care if it's a losing team. I don't care what team it is. You play them 4 times, you take 3, mission accomplished. So we'll see what they get done today. Hopefully the offense has more life to it. Just some of the discipline up at the plate seemed to be lacking last night, and that was a little frustrating. But all right, it's one game. We'll see what they get done. Meanwhile, something we didn't really get a chance to talk about. You know, we got the All-Star break, the All-Star game coming up. Cal Raleigh leads the world in home runs. Do you want to see him in the home run derby? Do you have any fear that he goes up there and he's just trying to hit tanks and he's just maybe the swing change? That's the fear for everybody who's got a rep from their team in the home run derby. And it all goes back to Bobby Abreu.
Yeah,
with the Phillies, and he was just on this massive tear. He goes, I can't remember if he won the home run derby or not, but he did that, and then he was just different. Like he just couldn't find it after that. Everybody blamed the home run derby because he changed his approach, and he was trying to lift the ball and trying to do all this, and it just all of a sudden he couldn't find it after that.
Yeah, I absolutely want Cal in the home run derby because, number one, you know, we've been making this pitch for him being MVP. And, you know, I mean, just the more eyes on Cal and, you know, more people talking about him. We had a bunch of clips yesterday, whether it was Singer or I'm trying to remember who else. But, I mean, a bunch of national voices. Harold Reynolds was chiming in about talking about Cal and just and I can see, you know, when he's up there at the home run derby, they're going to be talking about that. Like, this guy squats every day, like we were talking about yesterday, has to put on a cup and, you know, go out there and grind through it. And I think it'll bring more attention to him. The other thing is it Bobby Abreu? Is there any other examples of someone that I'm trying to think that
that to me that's the most prominent one. I'm trying to think of anybody else had it going, and then you know somehow to me it's more superstition. Was that what caused him to? I mean, when somebody's on a pace like Cal is, you figure he's going to cool off. Is he going to cool off because of the home run derby, or is he just going to cool off because you can't keep that pace up? That's not a realistic pace. Maybe it will be. Maybe I hope he proves me wrong, but ultimately I expect that the home run, pace will slow down a bit for him, and he may hit a slump at some point. That's just what happens in baseball. But is it going to be because he was in the home run derby? So I think part of it is the home run, and maybe some guys do change their swing a bit, and some of it is, hey man, you get in the grind, the depths of summer and baseball and the heat, and guys respond differently, and they might have had that slump regardless of their participation in the derby. So Cal, to me it's more of a superstition thing, and more of it, and I don't even know how many of our listeners even remember Bobby Abreu and that whole thing, but that seemed to be the most popular or prominent story when it comes to a guy who was red hot, did the home run derby, and then was a different hitter after that.
Yeah, I just don't see Cal. He doesn't have that kind of personality. I mean, he's just the most calm person. I just don't see how that would. How long does it take the home run derby? Is the whole thing probably 30 minutes or 40 minutes? I don't know. I just don't see.
Than that. Well, they drag it out.
Yeah, but I mean, his time up at the plate. I mean, I don't see how that could change him just based on what we've seen about Cal and how methodical he is up there. And then Shannon brought something up today, too, that was interesting. She was on with Bump and Stacy, and I guess just another way of talking about Cal, basically, is what we're doing. But she was talking about how he's seen so many pitches, and being the catcher and just the advantage of, he's kind of ahead of everybody else as far as, seeing pitches, and I'm sure he's logging behind the plate when, whether it's Logan or Kirby out there, and, just figuring out how to get hits and, what the break on the ball. I mean, everything that, he's just absorbing. So to me, it's not even close, but I'd be curious to hear from the texters 866-979-3776. Are there people that just want to put him on the shelf? And I mean, it's not like Cal's made out of glass, right? I mean, he is a tough dude, but also just psychologically, I feel like he's too strong for something like that to affect his swing.
Yeah, it could be subconscious. I don't know that he's going out there and saying, okay, normally this is how I attack a pitch, but I'm going to do it this way. I think he's going to do what he does. People texting in 425, Abreu was well before the launch angle revolution in the game. Everyone is taught to lift the ball now anyway. All right. 425, let Cal's play speak for itself. Bleep the derby. Mm-hmm. Julio, according to another 425, Julio Rodriguez came undone after the derby. I don't recall that.
Me neither. I know he got a lot of attention after that first one.
I mean, Julio's, had those hot and cold spells throughout his career. So I can't attribute any of that to the derby, because we've seen him start the year cold and then get red hot later in the season and then get cold even later in the season. So there's no rhythm to Julio's madness, if you will. He's smoking hot or he's ice cold, and there's not a ton of in between with him, it feels like.
Yeah, 458. Oh, I guess that's somewhere in Oregon. Cal doing the derby. What if it's his only chance to do it? What if his dad throws to him? I think it's totally worth doing. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I mean,
I don't have a problem with him doing it. It's more, how many people are that superstitious or worried that, you could see, because that's always been the fear, even whether it's well-founded or not, whether we could find multiple examples of, all right, this guy was on this base, and then he did the derby, and then he completely face-planted after that. Again, Abreu's the most prominent. But maybe there's more, maybe there's not. Maybe that just became true for everybody. So they didn't want their star who's killing it for their team going, no, I don't want an Abreu moment. Don't do that. Don't participate.
Well, I would think that if you really are hell-bent on Cal being the MVP, then you would definitely be for it. No question. I mean, if he...
Yeah, get him out in front of those voters, though obviously it doesn't mean anything. It's an exhibition.
Right. But those things we heard from, like, the national people, we played a bunch of clips yesterday, and it's like flooding. And so, I think that's kind of what he needs. He needs to get the word out about, hey, this guy's grinding behind the plate, and he's managing one of the better rotations in all of Major League Baseball. And, he's seeing all these pitches, and, and you just want to, I mean, we're up here in, in Seattle. We're not in New York. Just more of a chance that, like, when he's up to hit, if he's in the Derby, that there's just more to talk about with Cal and just get, the awareness out there and about what kind of a person he is and what he means to the team and all of that, because that all flows into the MVP voting.
Yeah, I want to see him do it, unless he's not feeling physically up to par on any level. If he's not 100%, if he's like, my side's a little sore, but I want to do it. I don't. Then I'm out. If he's like, I feel great, I feel like I do any other day. All right, go for it, man. I'd love to see it. It'd make it a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, my only hesitation would be if he's dealing with anything physical at all. Then don't.
That makes sense.
That would be my one stipulation.
Yeah,
but I don't even know that he would say anything if he were dealing with an issue. Meanwhile, I saw this article from Daniel Kramer wrote on MLB.com, just kind of taking questions, talking about what the Mariners may do at the trade deadline, and there was a section of the article where he's talking about Harry Ford, and I thought it was interesting because it kind of echoed what we were saying, what we were talking about yesterday, and that we've had some people texting, you got to bring up Harry Ford and Mitch Garver because he's not doing anything. I'm like, well, Mitch Garver's making $12.5 million. Some of the pitchers like throwing to him. He's your backup catcher, whether it's Kirby or whoever. They like it. Harry Ford, you going to bring him up here to sit because he doesn't play anywhere else? Are you gonna sit Polanco and have Harry Ford be your DH? Or if you're looking at Harry Ford as a potential trade piece, do you want to expose him up here and he comes up here and struggles, and then at the trade deadline he's batting .057 and maybe the little bit of that luster is worn off?
I think that's the greatest point of all of it, of all of the thinking.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, seriously. I mean, Harry, it's exactly what could happen. So, yeah, and we've had this discussion about, do you have any kind of attachment to these guys? And a little bit with Harry Ford. It's kind of like what we talked about with Geno Smith, right? Yeah. Nobody really had like an attachment. I think people maybe a little bit more with Harry Ford, but I don't know, man. He's there to help this team, and I think if you gave people a chance, hey, trading him is going to give us a chance to get into the playoffs and to bolster our offense. I mean, I think 90% of people at this point are like, yeah, I'm all in. I don't, and it's not like, oh, screw Harry Ford, I mean, he's a great kid, he's a great prospect, all that, but
well, his avenue is, I don't know what it is. Cal just got locked up to a long-term extension.
Yeah.
He's your guy.
Right.
And obviously he's proving why he's your guy. You're not going to sit Cal for Harry Ford. So what is his role on the team if he's not traded? If you were to call him up, he's going to be sitting the majority of the time. Again, are you going to take Polanco's bat out of the lineup for an unproven bat and a young kid just to see, all right, can he do it? Can he not do it? Is he going to have enough opportunity consecutively to develop any kind of rhythm? Or is he going to play – he played this day, and now 4 days later he gets another shot, and then maybe another 5 days later he gets a shot. So I just don't see his path, really. In calling him up, it doesn't make sense to me right now. I understand Garver is not doing anything.
Yeah, but I mean, you made, I think, the point that makes the most sense. You call him up, and he struggles.
Yeah.
And that tends to happen when you call up.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see what goes on with that. But, good stuff from Daniel Kramer on MLB.com. Let's take two.
Well, the Phillies scored just one run in the 3-game series against the Astros, swept after a 2-1 loss today. So Houston is now 6 up on the Mariners in the division race. In the wild card, though, some decent news. The Guardians lost 6-0 to the Blue Jays, so 1-game lead for the Mariners over Cleveland.
Yeah, it was down to a half game going into today. Guardians losing is a good thing. Houston's just not losing, man. Phillies are a good team. They score 1 run in 3 games. And Lombre's got some
explaining to do.
He's got some explaining to do.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Phillies, they're number 5 in average. I mean, they're top 10 in a lot of offensive categories, and very frustrating to see them not show that in this series with Houston.
Well, the NFL has suspended Justin Tucker for 10 weeks starting on August 26th. He's going to be eligible for reinstatement on November 11th, and that suspension starts regardless of whether he is on a team. Currently does not have a team, so August 26th, he'll be suspended for 10 weeks, whether he has a team or not.
Do we see him again? Does a team take a chance? Do they want to deal with the publicity, the negative publicity that comes with him? I know he's denying all of it, but You said it. We've been saying it when the story came out. When one accusation from somebody, you can question, go, well, what's their motivation? Two, you're like, all right. When you start getting double-digit accusations,
16.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Well, it was like Deshaun Watson. It's like anybody. If you're being accused by that many different individuals, your credibility, the leash, the level of disbelief starts to leave.
Yeah. Is it worse that he's a kicker? No, I don't want to make light of this. It just, to me, he's just a person. But I mean, come on, man. There's 16 accusations, and
none of them are telling the truth.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, they're 0 for 16, and yeah, I mean, we were talking about like his agent. He's probably, it's like you said. It's like a defense attorney. It's your job to go do that. But I bet you behind the scenes, he's like, you stupid.
he's probably like, I'm going to do what I can to get you another job. Don't hold your breath.
Yeah.
You brought this on yourself, man. Yeah, that's a tough place to be as an agent, I would say, to have to sit there and try to sell him. Hey, he's a great guy, and you were reading some of his quotes. He's always prided himself on doing the right thing, this, that, and the other, and yeah, I don't.
Well, in your comparison to a defense attorney, I mean, you're on fire today, by the way, Bob.
Yeah.
I know we got a short show, but some good takes there. But no, I mean, that's just what he has to do. But I don't know. I mean, if that's like the most prominent, I don't even know who that is. Agent, are you just like, you're done?
I
cut
probably
you.
would.
I would fire him.
All right, Take Two is brought to you by Swedish Cyberknife. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. You got the Mariners and Twins, the finale coming your way. Hopefully Mariners walk out of there with a 3-1 series win. Looking forward to it. It's coming your way next. We'll talk to you tomorrow right here with Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
The Cal Raleigh Show.
To come back the way we did.
All season long. Every Thursday afternoon at 5 on Wyman and Bob. Featuring Mariners insider Shannon Drayer.
To win some of those were really impressive.
Only on Seattle Sports. Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app.
Breaking news for the people of Boomtown. With Xfinity Mobile, the Wi-Fi is booming at home and on the go.
And an upgrade storm's on the way.
That's right. And with Xfinity Mobile Premium Unlimited, you can upgrade your phone when you want, up to 2 times a year.
Now, once customers catch wind of the guaranteed new device discount, it'll be the biggest upgrade storm in history.
Wow. Let's hear from our weatherman on the scene.
How's it looking out there, Rick?
Well, Bill, the Wi-Fi is still booming.
Now through September 30th, existing Xfinity Internet customers can get an unlimited line included for a year. Plus, ask how to get a free 5G phone. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Unlimited line offer requires Xfinity 300 megabit internet or above. Taxes, fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Reduced speeds after use of monthly data included with your data option. Data thresholds vary.
Washington is leading the way in car theft reduction. Car theft dropped by 32% from 2023 to 2024 in our state, but there's still work to be done. Help keep your car safe with these simple and important tips. Don't leave your car running unattended. Park in well-lit areas. Lock up every time. Keep valuables out of sight. Use an anti-theft device like a steering wheel lock. Prevent the theft and keep you and your vehicle safe. These tips are brought to you by the Washington Auto Theft Prevention Authority.
For more than 75 years, University of Maryland Global Campus has given you the opportunity to build your next success. Choose from more than 135 degree and certificate programs in career-relevant fields like business, healthcare, data analytics, cybersecurity, and more. Plus, we offer 100% online and hybrid courses, personalized advising, and lifetime career services. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jane has 150,000 miles on her truck, and she's proud of that. Jane's secret? AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help her find the right parts. Jane's brother Josh only cares that his car starts and goes, but when it doesn't, he also goes to AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help with free services. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jane has 150,000 miles on her truck, And she's proud of that. Jane's secret? AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help her find the right parts. Jane's brother Josh only cares that his car starts and goes. But when it doesn't, he also goes to AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help with free services. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Mariners baseball is on the air.
3-1 pitch on the way to Cal. Swinging a line drive, base hit down the right field line. And the Mariners have the lead. Cal Raleigh comes through.
Seattle Mariners play-by-play is brought to you by your Western Washington Toyota dealers.
Swung on and missed. A helpless wave and a slider in the dirt. Luis Castillo punches out Judge.
Seattle's Union Gospel Mission.
Dive slides and he makes an incredible catch. Holy smokes, Julio Rodriguez.
Michael's Toyota of Bellevue. And by your local steel dealer.
It is finally time for Seattle Mariners baseball. Great to have you with us tonight as the Seattle Mariners get set to finally take on the Minnesota Twins in Game 4 of this 4-game series. The Mariners ahead in this series, 2-1, looking to take the series with a win today, as we really had to wait this one out. Pouring most of the day, but we're in good shape right now. The rain has let up. The umpires are on the field, and the Twins getting ready to take the field here in Minneapolis. Gary Hill alongside Rick Riz. We've got Shannon Dreyer with us. And Rick, it was a long wait, but here we are. It's finally happening.
Gary, the 4.5-hour rain delay beats the heck out of having to fly back here to Minnesota to play Game 4 sometime later on during the course of the season with a mutual day off for the two teams. So it beats that. So let's stay here. We're going to play after a 4.5-hour rain delay, get Game 4 underway. Hopefully the Mariners will win to win the series, and then take off for Texas as the long road trip continues. So Minnesota taking the field, and Gary, that is a great sight. We had a rain delay without it raining, but they were waiting for the big storm to come in, and man, it was right on time. And so now we're going to play baseball.
We're going to play baseball, and hopefully it stays okay for the rest of the night. We'll see how it goes. I imagine that they'll probably have to play through some drizzle, maybe some rain at times. So we'll see what happens. Right now, it's pretty good. This is the best it's been all day. So this timing works out really well. The Mariners and Twins fortunate last night how it played out, where it poured, stopped, played the game, and that was it. So had to wait this one out a little bit today.
Yeah, we've had some weird weather on this road trip. In Chicago, it was the heat and the wind. They had to, both sides had to endure the broiling heat on the north side in that 3-game series at Wrigley Field. We had the rain last night, more rain today. So the good news is that we're going to get all these games in and get ready to take on the Rangers tomorrow night down in Arlington, Texas. But first things first, the Mariners are looking to win a series with Emerson Hancock on the mound. And he had a rough time because of that breeze at Wrigley Field in Chicago, gave up a few home runs. But Gary, before that, he was absolutely brilliant. 7 scoreless innings against Cleveland and gave up only 2 hits in that game.
Yeah, and on top of that, the Mariners offense looking to bounce back. Hey, they ran in some really good pitching last night. Joe Ryan is excellent, and the back of that Twins bullpen is great. So, you know, that happens when you run into good pitchers. This is a matchup, though, the Mariners can take advantage of. Simeon Woods Richardson this year has struggled. An ERA over 5 on the season. The Mariners have been red hot on this trip, so a chance for the Mariners to pile up some more runs.
So the Mariners looking to score early and on and come away with a win this afternoon. And their goal this year, and any team's goal, is to win series after series after series. We are about ready to go. Tonight's first pitch of the game brought to you by Michael's Toyota of Bellevue since 1974. That's Michael's Toyota of Bellevue, for the life you live. The rain is gone from downtown Minneapolis. Fans are finding their seats in the lower bowl all around Target Field. Still gray skies, but we have baseball tonight. Simeon Woods Richardson is ready to go. Big right-hander J.P. Crawford steps in. Here's the windup and the first pitch of the game. Swing and a foul back by J.P. Loves that first pitch. And yes, we are underway. Home plate umpire tonight is Chris Conroy. Brennan Miller's at first. Jeremy Rehak at second. Willie Traynor is the umpire at third. Here's the windup and the 0-1 on the way to JP. It's inside and off the glove of the catcher Ryan Jeffers for ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Twins in their cream colored alternate uniforms on a Thursday. It's still Thursday afternoon here. Now the windup and the 1-1 on the way to JP. Swinging a foul straight back, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Mariners in their road gray navy jerseys and gray pants. A little on the quiet side right now as the fans are still trying to find their seats. Sparse crowd because of the bad weather here in Minnesota the last couple of days. Now the windup by Richardson delivers, swinging a line drive out of play on the third base side, and the count stays at 1-2 on Crawford, having an outstanding year. JP batting .279, 6 home runs, 30 runs batted in. His on-base percentage 4th in the American League, .394. Richardson ready. The windup and the next offer. Swinging a hard hit ground ball right to the second baseman. Clemens has it. Short flip to first, and it's in time to get JP, and there's 1 away. That'll bring up center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Mariners were blanked by Minnesota last night by a score of 2-0. But a couple of nights ago, the Mariners won 6-5, and they did it without hitting the long ball. No home runs in that game. Mariners won the opening game of the series 11-2. They hit their share of home runs in that one. Here's the windup and the pitch to Julio, and it bounces in for ball 1. But Julio a couple of nights ago was 0 for 3. However, he had 2 sacrifice flies, including the game-winning sacrifice fly in the top of the 9th inning to win that game 6-5. The windup and the 1-0 pitch to Julio. Swing and a miss, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Julio looking back at the home plate umpire Chris Conroy, saying that was a strike, right? Chris said yep. Infield back on the left side. Lee at third. Correa deep at short. Pitch to Julio. Fastball for a strike, and the count is now 1-2. Cal Raleigh, the DH, is on deck. See the wear and tear of the rain with the darkened warning track. Here's the windup and the pitch to Julio. Down low for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So a big round of applause for the grounds crew. Man, they did a heck of a job to get this field ready tonight. Long rain delay of 4.5 hours, but we're playing. Outfield straight away from Minnesota. The windup and the 2-2 pitch. Swinging a foul at the plate off the foot of Julio, and the count is still even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. But Gary, we kept ourselves busy for the last 4.5 hours. Kind of. Yes.
I saw you. You got a root beer float.
I did.
I think that was the highlight.
I did. It was for me, definitely.
Killebrew root beer too on top of that?
Yeah.
Is that what I saw?
Yeah, they have a root beer here called Killebrew root beer, and they make the Killebrew root beer float. It was absolutely delicious. Harmon Killebrew, one of the great players in the history of the Twins franchise. Now the 2-2 again to Julio. Swing and a miss at a fastball for strike 3. Strikeout number 1 for Simeon Woods Richardson, and the Mariners have 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. And that'll bring up designated hitter Cal Raleigh. Maybe one day Cal's going to have a root beer named after him the way he's going. But Harmon Killebrew, one of the most beloved players in the history of the Minnesota Twins. I mean, he went back to the final days when the Twins were in Washington before becoming the Twins. They were the Washington Senators. Here's the pitch. Check swing by Cal. Fouls it away behind the plate, 0-1. So he came over from Washington as a young player and became one of the great, most feared power hitters in the game of baseball. Grew up in a little town called Payette, Idaho. There's a big tribute to Harmon in the hallway behind the radio and television booths here at Target Field. Now the 0-1 to Cal. Swing and a broken bat. Ground ball foul on the first base side by the Twins dugout. Sounded like he broke his bat. He checks it and he says it's okay. I hope he never loses that bat. That's been a great gamer for him for a long time. Cal batting .277, leading the league in major leagues in home runs with 32. On pace to hit 66. Next pitch to Cal. way up high for ball one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He also leads the major leagues in runs batted in with 69. We can go on and on and on, and we will, about the first half for Cal Raleigh. Top 10 in 9 offensive categories in the American League. The 1-2 on the way to Cal. Swinging a shot foul out of play on the third base side. And the count is still 1-2. But in the cases that feature the memorabilia of Harmon Killebrew, they have his little basketball jersey when he was a kid, and his football uniform from Payette High School, where he was an All-American. Here's the windup, and again the 1-2 to Cal. Swinging a fly ball deep to right field. This is heading to the patio. Stay fair. It is a foul ball. It had plenty of distance down the right field line, but foul. Almost number 33 on the year for Cal. But he's just a little bit out in front, and the count is still 1-2 on Cal Raleigh. Simeon Woods Richardson with a new baseball. Man, he's been so consistent. He had a stretch there where he had a home run in 4 consecutive games the last few days. Next offer, swinging a tap foul behind home plate. Cal's still in there against Richardson, and the count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, the distance wasn't the problem.
No, just the angle down that right field line, a little bit foul. The windup, and again the 1-2. Check swing, it is inside. Ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good eye by Cal. Some oohs and ahs from the crowd. It was inside for ball 2.
It's a small group here, but very passionate.
And they're going to be vocal because
they've waited for a long time for this.
I tell you what, anybody does ice fishing up here can stand the rain. There's a swing and a ground ball foul, first base side. Long at bat for Cal. Right now, an 8-pitch at bat. I don't think I'm ever going to do any ice fishing, but the folks up here, they love it. The windup, and again the 2-2. Low and inside in the dirt, ball 3, full count.
It's a great plate appearance. This will be pitch number 10 coming up to Cal.
Let's see if Richardson makes a mistake out over the plate. He almost did a few pitches ago. 2 up, 2 down here in the first inning. The windup. And the 3-2 to Cal. It is inside for ball 4. Make it down low as well. Tremendous at bat by Cal Raleigh. Draws a walk. An 11-pitch at bat. And Cal's on at first base. That's a high five from first base coach Eric Young Jr. And that'll bring up Randy Rosarena batting cleanup here in game 4 of the 4-game series. The set by Richardson delivers. Fastball up high for ball 1. Mariners need a win in this one to remain 5.5 back of Houston, because the Phillies can't help us out again. Gary, they lose to the Astros by a score of 2-1 today. Next pitch to Randy. Swing, a little tapper fouled away. That's the on-deck hitter Dom Canzone, and the count is even on Randy at 1-1.
Yeah, an early look at the Chevy Colorado scoreboard. Frustrating series from the Mariners' perspective. The Astros won 2-1, 2-0, and 1-0. Wow. The Phillies scored 1 run in the series.
Come on, Philadelphia. Here's the pitch of the way. Swinging a drive deep into the gap in left center field. Buxton to the 1-8 track to the wall. Leaps up, and he makes the catch at the top of the wall in left center field, right in front of the Mariners bullpen. Well, that's what Buxton does. What a drive by Randy, but that will end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on. We go to the bottom of the first, underway here in Minnesota. Long rain delay is over. We go to the bottom of the first, Mariners nothing, and the Twins coming up.
$195 million. Global Credit Union members saved $195 million last year through lower fees and better interest rates. At Global, member service is our highest priority. 27 branches throughout Washington, an easy-to-use mobile app, and access to a member service rep wherever you are and whenever you need help. 24/7, 365 days a year. Learn more at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, proud partners of Seattle Mariners Radio.
When it comes to pitching, walks aren't great. When it comes to steel, walk-behind mowers are. Rick Riz here, and whether it's a gas or battery walk-behind mower, it's a steal of a deal with Steel. Get a free battery with the purchase of a set, a unit, battery, and charger. Or save up to $120 on gas walk-behind mowers. Get a perfect cut with Steel's American-made mowers. Steel, trusted by me, trusted by the Mariners. Start easier, work smarter, and finish faster with Steel. Find your local Steel dealer at steeldealers.com.
Are you ready to hit a home run with your shopping? Well, look no further than the Fred Meyer Mariners Rewards Program. It's your ticket to win big while you shop. Here's how it works. For every $1 you spend on participating products like Hempler's Bacon and Sun Cruiser, you earn Fred Meyer Mariners Rewards points. Redeem your points all season long for game tickets, T-Mobile Park Concert Series tickets, exclusive merch, and more. Accumulate and redeem these Fred Meyer Mariners Rewards points from April 23rd, 2025 through October 1st, 2025. Participating products are identified with Mariners-themed signs and tags throughout the store. Terms and conditions apply.
Fuel up and chow down. Spend $50 on quality gas at Arco and bring your receipt to T-Mobile Park Guest Services for a $10 concessions gift card. Take the win at Arco. Savings based on independent retail price survey. Promotion valid through July 31st, 2025 while supplies last.
You're listening to Mariners Baseball on Seattle Sports.
No score, bottom of the first inning. Emerson Hancock on the mound for the Mariners. A record of 3-3. Delivers to Byron Buxton. A swing and a ground ball foul. On the third base side, 0-1 on Buxton. Hancock, a 5.43 ERA, making his 14th start of the year. Last outing against the Cubs in Chicago on this trip. Next offer, swinging a ground ball to short. Cutting across, though, the third baseman, Ben Williamson's got it. And his throw to first is in time to get Buxton, and there's one away. So Ben with a Benny, which is a nice play by Ben Williamson. Way to his left. JP was there. But if you play third base, you're going to be very aggressive. And if you're aggressive enough to get there in time, go ahead and get it. And Williamson did. So one out, and here's Trevor Larnach, the DH for Minnesota. The look in by Hancock delivers, and it's outside for ball one. Larnach batting .256, 11 home runs, and 36 runs batted in. And Williamson has played some kind of great defense. There's a swing and a foul back by Larnach. 1 ball and 1 strike. And on deck is left fielder Willie Castro. Mariners skippered by Dan Wilson, who spent a lot of time up here in Minnesota. Going to the University of Minnesota. We started there. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Fouled back and out of play by Larnach, and the count 1-2. Danny had a great career here in college. Was drafted by the Cincinnati Reds. That was one of his favorite teams growing up, besides rooting for the Cubs. His favorite player, Johnny Bench, played on the Reds. Here's the next offer, and a swing and a miss by Larnach for strike 3. There's that off-speed pitch by Emerson Hancock, and a beauty, and Emerson has his first strikeout tonight. So 2 outs for the Twins. Nobody on, no score, and that'll bring up Willie Castro. Say, friends, when considering a Volvo, people should come to Sandberg Volvo Cars in Linwood to experience the Sandberg difference. The only Excellence Award winner and family-owned and operated Volvo dealership in the Northwest. Here's the pitch inside on Castro, ball 1. You're going to come in as a friend and leave as a member of the family with a great car. See great reviews at SandbergVolvoCars.com. The look in by Hancock, fires away. Fastball's outside, ball 2. 2-0. Hancock, in his last start last Saturday at Wrigley Field in Chicago, was a victim of that gale force wind blowing out. He gave up 4 home runs early in the ball game. Next offer outside again, ball 3. 3-0 the count on Castro. He went 4 innings. By the time before that, 6-0 win at home against Cleveland. He went 7 scoreless innings, gave up only 2 hits, walked 1, and he struck out 4. Next offer, strike on the outside corner. 3-1 the count on Castro as Emerson gets back in the count. Didn't take much to hit it out, though, Gary, on that day for anybody. Here's the look in by Emerson, delivers, and it's low and outside for ball 4, so Castro draws a 2-out walk. He's on at first base, and that'll bring up Carlos Correa.
I can't imagine how relieved he was to walk out on the field today, and just is very calm, very normal. The wind not really blowing today. Circling a little, but not too bad. Nothing like Chicago, clearly.
That was ridiculous. Those 3 games against the Cubs. Here's Correa. The pitch to Carlos is a strike called, 0-1. And when Hancock is on, he's got that sinker down in the strike zone. He pitches down in the strike zone. The changeup working. Emerson ready from the belt, and the 0-1 to Correa. There goes the runner, swinging a fly ball into center field. Julio started back. Now he comes in. He is there, and Kerplunk makes the catch, and that's it for Correa. And the Twins here in the bottom of the first inning. And we'll go to the top half of the second. Home Street Bank score. The Mariners nothing, and the Twins nothing.
When it's time to sell your home, you hope your agent knows the market, timing, pricing, interest rates, neighborhoods, staging open houses, understanding contracts, completing paperwork. Oh, and can actually help guide you on your big move. Don't hope. No. When you hire a Weichert agent, you can be sure you've got a partner who will guide you every step of the way, from listing to closing and everything in between. Weichert. Dream. Move. Home. Each Weichert franchise office is independently owned and operated.
When the hot water needs to be hot, when the drain needs to drain, when the toilet needs to flush, you need to do two things. Stop freaking and call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical. On call and there when you need them most. 1-800-FREAKIN or beaconplumbing.net.
Summer's new sips are here with new Smirnoff Ice Sunny Days. Featuring 4 nostalgic, fruity classics with a taste that takes you back. Sweet red, white, and berry. Refreshingly bold lemon shaved ice. Cool and zesty orange cream pop. And unbelievably crisp Cosmic Snow Cone. Try them all in a convenient variety pack and pick one up today at your local Fred Meyer Safeway store. Enjoy responsibly. Message for 21 plus. Smirnoff Ice Premium Malt Beverage. The Smirnoff Company. New York, New York, 2025.
Michael's Toyota of Bellevue has been a name you can trust for 50 years. And the heart and soul of our success is a team of dedicated folks that make it all possible. A welcoming smile that lets you know we appreciate your visit. A finance staff that finds the best rates, rebates, and offers, making your new car dreams affordable. A sales department that'll match you with a Toyota that fits your life. From the team at Michael's Toyota of Bellevue, for the life you live. ToyotaofBellevue.com.
You're listening to Mariners Baseball on Seattle Sports.
Our Home Street Bank score, Mariners nothing and the Twins nothing. Top half of the second. Dom Canzone to lead things off. Simeon, Woods, Richardson on the mound for Minnesota. Here's the pitch on the way. A changeup. It's low in the dirt for ball one. Richardson from Sugar Land, Texas. Second round pick back in June of 2018 by the New York Mets. Now the windup and the 1-0 to Dom. Fastball for a strike. 1-1. Richardson, his last outing, June the 21st. A 9-0 loss against the Milwaukee Brewers. Here's the pitch. Up and in on Canzone. Ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. I'm doing a great job swinging the bat since his return from AAA Tacoma. Batting .273, 4 home runs. And 7 runs batted in. Good power from the left side. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul off the catcher Jeffers. And the count evens on Dom at 2-2. Jeffers taking a little time to recover. Took a pretty good pop. And he gets some time from the home plate umpire, Chris Conroy. Well, this afternoon's Men of Steel report is brought to you by Steel Outdoor Power Equipment. Cal Raleigh almost hit a home run in the first inning. So did Randy Arozarena. Byron Buxton made the catch at the top of the fence out in deep left center field, and Cal's was just a little bit fouled down the right field line. That was in the first. Here's the windup and the 2-2 to Canzone. Breaking ball low and inside, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. This afternoon's Men of Steel report brought to you by Steel Outdoor Power Equipment. Find your steel. Visit steeldealers.com. That's STIHL dealers.com. A little on the cool side after all the rain we had earlier today. Gray skies. The 3-2 pitch. Fastball, strike 3 called. Canzone. Looking at a strikeout number 2 for Woods Richardson. And the Mariners have one down here in the second. Brings up hot hitting first baseman Donovan Solano. Solano batting .261, 3 home runs, 15 runs batted in, but it was just a few weeks ago he was hitting about .163. Here's the windup and the pitch to him. Over for a strike, 0-1. That's because the last 16 games Solano's batting .435 with his 3 home runs and 14 of his 15 runs batted in. Man, he's turned things around. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Good changeup. And the count is 0-2. And he's playing a great first base. I asked him in the clubhouse this morning how much first base he's played over the last 2.5 years. He said he's played quite a bit. Next offer on the way, and it's outside. Ball 1-1-2. He spent some time here in Minnesota. He's played third base, second base. Doing a really good job at first. Richardson, the windup, and the 1-2 on the way to Donovan, swinging a foul. Out of play on the first base side, and the count is still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mariners at 41-38 on the year. Minnesota 38 and 42. Fourth place in the Central. The pitch. Breaking ball low and outside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Minnesota 11.5 games out in third place in the Central behind the red hot Detroit Tigers. What a year for Detroit. Already at 50 wins. Here's the 2-2. Low and outside. Ball 3. Full count 3-2 on Solano. It was a Padre last year. Richardson looks in, has a sign from Jeffers. The windup and the payoff pitch. Swinging a fly ball lifted into right center field. Over is Wallner. He's there, camps underneath, and he makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So 2 away, and that'll bring up catcher Mitch Garver, former Minnesota Twin. And it's just a couple years ago he helped the Texas Rangers win a World Series in 2023 against the Arizona Diamondbacks. We'll see the Rangers tomorrow night. Logan Gilbert will get the start tomorrow night against Nathan Eovaldi. Eovaldi coming off the IL. He's missed the last month. Here's the pitch to Mitch, and it's low and inside. It bounces in and away from the catcher Jeffers. Ball 1. And hopefully we'll have nice warm weather in Texas, but it doesn't matter. We're going to be inside, nice and comfortable at Globe Life Field. Here's the windup, and the 1-0 pitch on the way to Garver, a strike, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Garver batting .208, 3 home runs and 16 runs batted in. Now the windup and the 1-1 pitch. Strike called, outside corner. 1-2. Mariners in a stretch of playing 17 games in 17 days. Right now with a record of 4-2 during that stretch. The windup and the 1-2 pitch to Garver. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and that's going to retire the side. Strikeout number 3 for Simeon Woods Richardson. We go to the bottom of the second here in Minnesota. Home Street Bank score, the Mariners nothing and the Twins nothing.
WSECU is proud to be one of Washington's best credit unions. As a cooperative, we're member-owned and love our great state as much as you do. From the Pacific Coast to the rolling hills of the Palouse, we make each other stronger every day. So let's join forces. Let's level the playing field. Let's give back and swing for the fences. Stop by, say hi. We're WSECU. Let's credit union.
Whatever temperatures this summer brings, your Bryant dealer is ready to help. Your dealer is backed by outstanding products from one of the industry's most trusted names, Bryant.
Visit BryantNorthwest.com for a dealer near you. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Kick off your 4th of July weekend with a Mariners fireworks show at Seattle's summer home, T-Mobile Park. It's a Mariners patriotic party. Thursday, July 3rd, presented by T-Mobile.
Fly ball right field. Sailing back. Gone! Legend Cal Raleigh.
Catch Cal and the crew take on the Royals at 7:10. Then stick around as the sky explodes with red, white, and boom. Fireworks and Mariners baseball. That's 2 spectacular shows in one unforgettable night.
J.P. Crawford with a walk-off single. Holy smokes, what a finish.
Lock in your seats now at mariners.com/fireworks and check out the full fireworks lineup this summer, including an 80s night on July 18th and Show Tunes theme on August 1st. Plus, don't miss big-time giveaways like patriotic trucker hats on July 4th and J.P. Crawford basketball jerseys on July 5th. Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
You're listening to Mariners baseball on Seattle Sports.
Home Street Bank score, Mariners nothing, Twins nothing. Bottom half of the second, and right fielder Matt Wallner will lead things off. Emerson Hancock fires away a fastball strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Emerson looked at 4 batters in the bottom of the first inning. Struck out Trevor Larnach for one of the 3 outs. Next pitch on the way, a strike on the outside corner. Changeup. He's got a good one, and the count is 0-2 on Wallner. Wallner, Lee, and Ty France for the Twins here in the bottom of the second. I want to say hello to my good friends Julie and Hondo here at the ballpark this afternoon with their family and friends. Here's the windup and the 0-2 on the way, swinging a foul behind the plate, and the count is still 0-2. I've known Julie and Hondo for a long time, and they brought some of their kids over to St.